It is, in the scheme of things, a relatively simple formula. It is a tallow, lanolin, and shea butter shaving soap with a relatively simple list of ingredients. But don't let that simple list of ingredients fool you. Overall, I've had very, very good shaves out of this soap all week. Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina on a beautiful Sunday morning in November. It is the start of No Shave November. I will not be participating because when I have done that, there has been general thumbs down on, let's say, the way the mustache looked or my whole face looked, so I'm not going to do that again. I will, of course, as I do every year, is contribute to those of you that are raising money for No Shave November. Prostate cancer is something which we should all take quite seriously. We've had members of our family that have been affected. It's something I take seriously, and you should as well. All right, with the public service announcement portion of this shave out of the way, let's get straight into it. 4 products for review, 3 of them from a company, the Well Groomed Guy. I actually received 5 products from them. It was a shaving soap, a pre-shave oil, an aftershave or a facial serum, but also a pomade as well as a dry shampoo. I've already passed the pomade on to someone else at work. I found someone yesterday on Friday who was interested in the dry shampoo. Who knew? Kind of a surprise. So I'll be passing those on right away. Those are the first 3. I also have a blade for review today, a blade that I've never used before. So the soap for today is from this is from the Well Groomed Guys. This is the Shaving Guy. That's the name of the shaving soap. It is, in the scheme of things, a relatively simple formula. It is a tallow, lanolin, and shea butter shaving soap with a relatively simple list of ingredients. But don't let that simple list of ingredients fool you. Overall, I've had very, very good shaves out of this soap all week. This is what it looks like in the container. It is a relatively hard, somewhat dryish soap. The scent, what I get is kind of a light citrus, a light floral scent. I think it's also supposed to include sandalwood, although I don't really get much of a sandalwood scent out of it. It smells like kind of a light cologne, and in fact, it reminds me a little bit of the Vars shaving cream from Poland. So a nice, light, simple cologne style scent. I have some of that pressed into the Captain's Choice loading bowl. That should be plenty for today. I think in the previous weeks, I was simply scooping out too much soap. So I've tried to go sort of 2/3 what I was doing before, and I think I'm just a little bit closer to the mark there. All right, before we start lathering up the soap, I'm going to apply the pre-shave. Now, I believe that this pre-shave oil contains, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 25 different oils. It is just a mix of all kinds of oils. I have really enjoyed using this week. You can use this on a dry face or a wet face. I have a bit of water on my face. I'll apply it to a damp face. I just want to mention that the pre-shave oil is a little bit more viscous than some of the other ones. It's a little bit heavier and a little bit thicker. It is a kind of a bright orange, not bright, kind of a bright darkish orange color. And the scent is what I would describe as kind of medicinal. It's not a scented pre-shave oil at all. So I'm going to use 2 pumps. They recommend 4, but 4 seems like quite a bit unless you want to really let it, get it go crazy on there. I'm just going to use the 2, and I'll show you what it looks like. I feel like 2 is enough to get a relatively good layer on. Hope you can see that. There's the color. And I've just been applying it. Just sort of dabbing it on and then rubbing my hands together. Now for pre-shave oil, you may find that you're not quite sure if it works or not for you. And there's a couple simple ways to test that. Same setup every week, 1 day with pre-shave oil, 1 day without, and then just alternate and see if you can really detect the difference in your shaves. If you can't, then that pre-shave oil is not really working for you, or maybe not really working at all. You can also do it by applying the shave oil to one side of your face and leaving the other without, and then detecting during the shave if you feel like you're getting a better result out of it. Now, as you can see, that does not leave an orange tint behind. The pre-shave oil is orange, but it doesn't look orange once you put it on. It is a little bit viscous, so what you need to be worried about here is leaving it on your skin before you start shaving. So just lightly dip your hands, just get your hands wet, and just towel them off. All right, we'll leave that sitting for just a moment. The brush for today is this Carnavis and Richardson brush. I won this on Reddit. It's a beautiful aluminum handle with a tuxedo knot, a slightly lower loft, which means that the knot is held together. It's got a good bit of firmness to it. It's worked out great all week. So I'm just going to wet that through and we'll start lathering up. Now I know that doesn't look like a lot of soap. That's going to be plenty for today. Actually, this has been kind of an interesting experience because you never quite know. I've never really heard of this brand before. I don't know anything about it. Nothing to base my experience on. And so, you know, sometimes you're maybe a bit worried, well, is this going to be okay or not? But no worries on this front. Has been really excellent all week. Soap is pretty concentrated, so that amount should be absolutely plenty for today's shave. Apologies for the clinking. It's one reason why I just cannot imagine using a shaving mug. I mean, the amount of clinking would just be, I don't know, too much to bear. And the only reason this is really clinking is because, well, the knot is relatively short. I'm pressing the brush down into the bowl, and so if it does hit the sides, it's not the knot, but it's the actual brush handle. All right, I'm gonna put a bit of water in there, just so you can see what's happening. That's already turning into a lot less airy and a little bit thicker and denser, creamier. Just a touch more. Just a drop or two in there. Yeah, if you're struggling, by the way, loading soap out of the container or you have some scooped out, I really recommend just going the route where you just add a little bit of water, load, add a bit of water, load. You can see just how quickly that turns into a much nicer looking bit of lather on the brush. Okay, I'm going to wet my face again on top of the pre-shave oil. As always, 2 days worth of growth. Drip a bit of water onto the brush and let's lather up. I know one of the worries about using a pre-shave oil is that the oil will affect the ability of the soap to build a lather. That has not proven to be the case here. Pre-shave oil has been no issue at all. Lather already feels soft on the face and slick. I'm of course going to add a bit more water. The scent becomes stronger when you lather the soap, by the way, so you get a stronger sense of sort of the citrus and a touch of the floral. Like I said, I don't really get any particular sandalwood scent out of it, but that's fine. And there we go. I could continue to work this lather, but I just don't think it's necessary. Already has kind of a nice smooth feel on the face, no resistance when I move the brush through it. There we go. Very easy and very quick. All right, let me just dry my hands off. Okay, the other item for review today is a Gillette Menorah blade. Here is the wrapper it comes in this kind of very cool kind of yellow, orange, and bright pink design. From what I've read, it seems to be a very popular razor blade in South Africa, and if that's the case, you're a bunch of lucky bastards. This has been a fantastic blade to shave with. I'm going to be putting that into this date code W3 Super Speed Black Tip. Fantastic shaves this week, by the way. What a switch from last week. Just so easy and just effortless. And the blade is really quite a surprise. Let's go ahead and get the shave going. We'll talk through what people are comparing that blade to. Some say it's like the Gillette green. Others say it's like the Gillette yellow. Some compare it to the Gillette blue. Some say it lies between the Gillette yellow and the blue, or between the green and the blue, or maybe kind of more on the side of the yellow and maybe a bit like the green with some reminiscent touches of the Gillette black. I hope that helps you figuring out what that blade is like, because it sure didn't help me in reading over the descriptions. No matter which one of those combinations of like this and like that it might be, blade is really, really good in this razor. This is shave number 6. And with this overall combo of the pre-shave, the shave soap, and this particular blade and razor, I have had 3 like pretty close to complete BBS shaves this week with very little effort. So overall, shaves this week have been very, very good. Yeah, you can definitely feel the added layer of pre-shave. And pre-shave oil is not something you only get to apply one time during your shave. If you feel like it's really helping, and you're sort of shaving it off during the shave, which of course is what's happening, you may feel that there's still a mild effect for maybe the second pass. But there is nothing stopping you from applying it for the third pass. If you, for example, find you get a lot of irritation in the against the grain pass, you need a bit of extra help, you could just apply the pre-shave at that point. Rinse your face, apply the pre-shave again, or maybe for the first time, lather up over it, and have at it. Easy and quick. Soap rinses, generally speaking, very easily. There is not a lot of residual slickness to the soap. Plenty of lather still in the brush. As you can see, let me just pull that up from the bottom there. A nice glossy look to it, I think. Yeah, the lather still has a very nice kind of soapy, slick feel to it. Hasn't dissipated at all. If I need to for the third pass, I'll load some more, but I don't know that I'll need to. Yeah, it's often the case with new products where you just are utterly unfamiliar with the vendor. You've never really heard of their products. You don't really have any kind of basis of comparison to go on. It's not something like it rings a bell or sounds familiar at all. So, you know, expectations are generally for those, I think, should be low because you just don't know what you're getting into. And I've had it happen a couple times. I think Sudsy Soaper is a good example. Never heard of them. Didn't know what to expect. Very surprised at the time, pleasantly surprised at just how good that soap was. And very similar experience here. You know, the pre-shave oil has really been working for me. Shave soap is a simple soap in the scheme of things, given today's shaving soap market. But the results have been very, very good. There we go. I can still feel a touch of the pre-shave oil. There is some overhang on this razor head design, so here's where I need to be careful. And there we go. Second spot where I've got to be just attentive to what's happening. Yeah, I have to say, in terms of the super speeds I would have to say this one certainly ranks well above the slim adjustable for me, honestly. If I had to pick between those two, it would be that one. I mean, I do have a slim adjustable from my birth year, but if I had to pick in terms of shave quality, I'd pick that black tip in a heartbeat. All right, third and final pass, I am going to load a little bit more of the remaining lather from the loading bowl. Ah, sorry for the clinking. I know that perhaps for some of you it's like a delightful musical note. It just, I don't know, I hate it. All right, wet my face, drip a bit of water on there. Let's go ahead and lather up for the third pass. Nice thing about this aluminum handled brush is that if you do leave it sit in the sink, and which is full of hot water to soak for just a minute or two, handle is delightfully warm. Seems like a little thing, but actually kind of an unexpected pleasure. There we go. Squeeze a bit of the extra lather out and there should be plenty in there. Wow. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Ta-da! Okay. All right, rinse that lather off my hands before I start shaving again. Obviously, safety first. All right, pass number 3. This is going to be against the grain. As always, 2 days of growth for these Sunday shaves. Mix up the direction there just because of the way that the hair grows. Not a hard and fast kind of thing, but sorry about that. Yeah, that blade is still doing very well. Great combo with the soap and the razor. And yes, of course you can overshave with this, don't get me wrong. If you went for like a 4th pass or just over buffed. There we go. All right, I think that that will conclude today's shave, as they say. See how we did? Oh, right here. There we go. Rinse. Yeah, that's a really simple, straightforward, wow, beautiful, smooth, easy shave. I got it. All right, let's rinse off after that. Yeah, that was easy and quick. Now, I don't think I'll push that blade into another week, although I have to say it's tempting to see what it can do. I received 2 of those, and now I'm kind of in one of those quandaries where it was that good, and so I wanted to shave with it. I only have 1, I want to keep it. So what do? Buy more, use that 1, then buy more, don't use that 1, hold on to it? I think we all know the answer to that question, don't we? All right. No aftershave for today. We're going to be using the Aftershave Balm. It is what they call the facial serum. It's labeled the facial serum guy. I don't know if this is meant to be used nighttime only. Some of those serums are meant to be used so you apply it and just go to sleep, but I've been using it as a post shave. It is a relatively thick, slightly yellowish color. I'm going to put on 3 pumps. So let me just, there you go. As you can see, a very nice kind of thick consistency, yellowish in color. And just 3 pumps seems to have been more than enough. As always, I apply something like this in the direction of the hair growth. And like I said, I'm not sure if this is meant to be only used as a nighttime, skin conditioner, but I've had no issues using it as a post-shave balm, frankly. It has left my skin surprisingly kind of supple, and the word that came to mind during the week was buttery. Very, very nice. Soaks in easily. It leaves a slightly slick, I don't want to say greasy, but a slightly slick feel to it, which soaks in after a while. Definitely could feel the effects of this for quite a time during the day. Surprisingly, very nice stuff, actually. You never quite know how that's going to work out in terms of just overall skin conditioning, and have to say, very happy with that. Well, that's it. 2 days of growth gone, and yet again, another fantastic Sunday shave. It's so great when they go this smoothly, because sometimes, like, we all have those shaves, and especially when you're waiting for that and you've skipped a day and then the shave is not that hot, or the razor's hard to use, or the blade turns out to be tuggy, or the shaving soap's not that hot. It's always a big disappointment, but this one went great. So let's do again a recap. This is from the Well Groomed Guys out of Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. The shaving soap is the Shaving Guy. Let me just show you once again what that looks like. Slightly hard, a little bit dry shaving soap. It is a coconut oil based shaving soap with tallow and lanolin and shea butter. Overall, very, very nice shaving soap. Very easy to lather, good slickness, good protection. A little bit on the drying side for the post shave. Rinses relatively cleanly, but again, because of the facial serum, not worried at all about the drying effect of the soap. The pre-shave oil, let me just put the cap back on that one. Pre-shave oil, also for the Well Groomed Guys. Like I said, I think this is 25 different oils mixed into the pre-shave. An orange color, as you could see, goes on very easily. You can use this on a dry face or a wet face. Definitely makes it through the first pass, no problem. You can definitely feel it there through the second pass. If you want to, apply it again for the third pass. You could also use this as a post-shave treatment if you wanted to, and just when you're done shaving, rinse your face, towel off a little bit, and then apply the pre-shave as a post-shave oil if you want to do some skin conditioning with that. I've elected, however, to skip that as the post-shave and have gone for the facial serum. There we go. Very, very nice stuff. Easy to apply, and I like a kind of a denser, heavier texture, so this is right up my alley. Easy to apply, makes my skin feel very good for quite some time. What's not to like about it? Frankly, quite happy with that. The razor for today, the black tip Gillette Super Speed W3 Day Code. Fantastic, super easy to use, efficient, comfortable, no issues in terms of its over. I think this is the aluminum handle style, by the way, not the other one. Beautiful razor, love it to pieces. The brush for today, I hope you can see that. A little wet, but that's okay. Aluminum handled Carnavis and Richardson custom brush with a tuxedo knot. Easy to use, lovely brush, no issues with the short loft in that. Gives it a little bit of extra backbone and a little bit of scrub, which is great. Oh, let's not forget. Oh my God, I almost forgot. One of the stars of today's shave, the Menorah Platinum Blade from Gillette. What a shocking surprise. So good, like I'd never seen these, I'd never heard of these, you just have no idea what to expect. First shave overall was kind of a surprise for all these products because I've never used that pre-shave or that shaving soap or that blade, and first shave on Monday was just fantastic, and it's been like that all this week. Well, I leave the shave with a smile on my face. I hope you have one on your face as well. Thank you again so much for watching. Always appreciate the time you're taking to watch these videos. As always, of course, please continue to leave your comments and questions against this video or any previous video. Thank you once again so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.